Welcome back, everyone. This next segment is so important for people to listen up because you know what? A lot of people put their heads in the sand when it comes to certain things, and this is one of them. My next guest has been on with me once before. I have with me Scott Cunningham. He's the owner of Scott's DOCS. Welcome back to the show. We're live on Facebook, so say hi to everybody out there.
Hey guys.
And tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do, but what we're going to focus on today.
Hey Carol, thanks again for having me back. Yes, I am Scott Cunningham, owner-operator of Scott's DOCS LLC, non-attorney legal document services. We are approved and authorized by the Arizona Supreme Court as well as the state of Nevada to offer non-attorney services in Arizona and in Nevada as well. The areas that I offer service would be real estate, but also estate planning, business development for LLCs and PLLCs, as well as probate for situations where you don't have your affairs in order and now your loved ones have to deal with the court system. They'll give me a call. So if you procrastinate, eventually your family will work with me, but if you work with me, it'll make it easier.
You did mention that you work with businesses and helping them develop LLCs and PLLCs. Really quickly, first, why is it so important for somebody to do that?
So, avoid liability. If you're conducting business as a sole proprietor or just in your name, if you are sued, your personal assets are exposed, your home, your retirements, your kids' education, what have you, all your assets are exposed. So by creating an LLC or a PLLC, which are the two areas that I offer service in, you are getting that liability protection. If something goes wrong, they sue the business, not you personally, so you're usually protected there. And we can help you from A to Z, from creating the LLC or PLLC to amending it, to statutory agent services, creating your operating agreement. Operating agreements are mandatory per state law, and a lot of folks don't know about an operating agreement because it's not system generated by the Corporation Commission. So we also offer business consultation in general. If you're trying to grow, look for strategies, we offer that as well. So definitely to all you business owners out there, entrepreneurs who are thinking about getting something created to protect yourself, feel free to give us a call, 480-586-0443. Be happy to help you out. A call is always free.
He's A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. He works statewide. Again, that number is 480-586-0443. And his website is scottsdocsllc.com. Now, I got to say this. Before you came on, you mentioned something to me, and it's your tagline. It's your tagline. It's a long one, but listen to this. You said that you're cheaper than your attorney and smarter than the website with white glove personal services.
Yes, that is 100% correct. We are very much cost efficient. Attorneys are good, but I am their competition, and just for a quick reference, if you want to create a trust, it's $750. And then obviously a competition to me would also be websites. And you know, websites are great if you know all of the minutia and the substance of what you're trying to do. Great, you just need a document, pay them a cheap price, and do your thing. Just like you can represent yourself in court as well, if you know how to do that. So if you're not quite comfortable doing it yourself, and you go to a website and there's no one to talk to have questions answered or bring clarity to the situation, that's where Scott's DOCS comes in. Again, a call to me is always free. I'm smarter than the website, I'm cheaper than the attorney, and you're not losing out on any service. We are white glove service, cost-efficient pricing, top quality results.
That's what I was just I wrote it down. So I want to talk, today we're going to open up the lines of the audience for everyone to get entered in to win a trust. That is a $750 value free to you or anyone that you know. Question right off the bat, can you just have the trust?
You can, yes. When it comes to estate planning, that's one of the mysterious pieces of mystery that law firms built into it, and I don't quite understand why, but you can get just a trust, you can get power of attorneys, you can get just a will, what have you. When you're talking about estate planning, it's the way I described it, it's two parts. Part one is you create, how do we avoid probate court for your assets? You create a trust or beneficiary documents. One thing you should know, a last will and testament, especially to our snowbirds who are out here now, or maybe you're now full-time in Arizona, a last will and testament in Arizona does not avoid your property from going through the Arizona probate court process. So a last will and testament is not going to avoid probate, but a trust does or beneficiary documents do. So that's part one. Part 2 of estate planning is personal documents, powers of attorneys. So a lot of times your trust or your beneficiary documents, they're dealing with and passing on the assets when you die. But while you're alive, if you're unavailable or incapacitated, power of attorneys allow you to appoint someone to assist you for various authorities in that power of attorney. There's a few different power of attorneys in the state of Arizona. 2 of them are healthcare based. One is a healthcare POA, that's your physical internal medicine type of healthcare needs. The other one is a mental health power of attorney that deals just mental health. And then you have the general power of attorney, which does cover financial. Some people call it a financial, but it also helps allow someone to help you with taxes, litigation matters, insurance policies, safe deposit boxes. So it's a general. And then there's a special POA. That's a limited scope power of attorney. A lot of times when our kids are young, we write our own limited scope POA. You can get medical care for my kid if needed. You sign it, date it, and that's a limited scope authority POA. We call it a special POA, technically speaking. But yeah, so estate planning, 2 parts. Part 1, avoiding probate. Part 2 are your personal documents. You can do them all at once, or you can do them at different times in different phases.
I'll tell you one thing though, I bet a lot of people thought that just doing a will was enough.
Yes, I've had those conversations with the person while they're alive, especially because they've transplanted to Arizona and wherever.
They can't do it very well when they're dead.
That's right. If you wait, you can't get it done and your family deals with probate.
Yeah.
But if all you have is a will, because that's what you had from your home state, give me a call so we can get some other stuff implemented so that your family will not deal with the Arizona probate court system.
Well, we have our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a trust. It's a $750 value, free to you or anyone you know. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show for it. Okay, let's go back to you. We talk about, before you came on, don't wait before it becomes an emergency.
Correct. And forgive me, I'm not quite sure I made it clear, but I am what's called a certified legal document preparer. I am certified by the Arizona Supreme Court to provide non-attorney legal services. I am a paralegal by education and trade, which is required to be a CLDP, as we call it, for the Arizona Supreme Court. So I'm not just some guy who doesn't have the background. I do have the legal foundation. I am approved by the Arizona Supreme Court. So just so you know, we have that longevity and legitimacy behind us. We've been around since 2007. We have clients all over the state, the country, and out of the country, and we're A+ rate the BBB. Over 300 5-star reviews as well online.
5-star rated everywhere.
That's right, exactly. Now, I'm sorry, you were saying about the...
Waiting
Yes.
until it's too late, or when it becomes an emergency.
Yes, so I've had those clients who, we don't like to talk about politics, taxes, or death. I'm here to talk to you about death today, unfortunately.
I love it.
That's right. So we can, if you wait, I've had people call me from the hospital bed, they need something done, they're in a bind. We can get a trust put together in a rush. We can get beneficiary documents put together in a rush. And get them to you, and you can have a mobile notary come and sign them in the hospital. We've helped out with those scenarios. So in jams and emergencies, we can help, but it's usually something that works a little better when you give yourself some time.
Sure.
When we can talk and have that white glove consultation about your needs, your family, what's available to accomplish your objectives, obviously getting it done. You may not like to do it, but I can take away the uncomfortableness, and we can just talk about the facts and get it done. Now, I've also had those unfortunate scenarios where the families called me because their parent died and nothing was set up, and so now they need to deal with the probate court process so they can get a house sold or deal with the cars or the bank accounts. And so I do help out with that. And I'll tell you, just the other week, I had an adult child reach out to me and gave me her mother's name, and I did have an initial consultation, but the mother never proceeded with getting anything done. And this was probably around March where I talked to her, and then I just took this call in middle October, mom had passed away and nothing was set up, so now I'm helping her family get through probate court.
We're gonna go to a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk further, because seriously, we have the family coming in town. People are gonna have Thanksgiving. Do something at the table different. Talk about what you need. Talk about getting yourselves set up with an estate plan and a trust. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a trust, and it's a $750 value, free to you or anyone that you know. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Check them out. It's Scott's, DOCS with an S, LLC.com. Wow. Okay. So, we're still live in this room.
Yes.
On Facebook, okay? So, all right, how did that happen? This girl, that everything was fine, and then she passed away?
Yeah. Most likely, mom was having symptoms or having issues when she called me, and unfortunately,
That's terrible.
never did get it
But,
done.
I might wanna talk about this, it's up to you, I don't know.
Sure, sure.
But, my ex-husband, whose mother passed, and they thought everything was all done. I mean, and they had big money, and that took a lot of, they had several trusts, and they had several, whatever you call it, accounts, and this and that and the other thing. And you would think that all this time that she said, don't worry, it's all done, it's all taken care of. Well, the first thing that came up was that her cremation was not paid for. Which in 1994, when she probably did that, how much you think that cremation was then?
Oh, probably a couple hundred.
Yeah, guess how much it was?
Couple thousand
Yeah,
at least.
at least. And I'm telling you, the thing is that people need to get them out, they need to dust them off. Do you do second opinions?
We can certainly clean it up.
But okay.
We can clean it up. I have to avoid the word opinion because that's only attorneys can give you legal opinions.
Okay.
So, yeah,
But at least-
we can help you amend it and get it brought up to the
Yeah.
current realities.
Well, and I'm gonna say something else too when we come on, if it's okay.
Okay.
Because I have one, okay?
Yeah.
And when I've had that surgery.
Right.
I thought, well, I'm gonna get it out and just kind of look at it, make sure it's all together right. I mean, there was like 8 things that needed to be changed, and I had it only for like maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
Things change,
Yes.
change.
Yes,
So
so we
you can't
create
do-
and amend,
Okay, that's what we wanna talk about too, just a little bit.
for sure.
For a lot of people might have them and need to look at them.
I love when you drive the bus. Keep
Okay.
driving.
So welcome back, everyone. We're talking about estate plans. We're talking about trust. We're talking about how important that is for people to take care of it early on so you don't have to go into probate. And by the way, if you don't, no matter what, you're gonna go into probate. So you might as well get it done right. And I wanna talk a little bit about that, but I want you to know about Scott here. First of all, he is white glove, personal service. Everything is top quality. He's been doing this since 2007, 5-star rated everywhere. He does free consultations that can be done either on the phone or in person. He works statewide, and he is A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. He is a certified legal document preparer. And today we're talking about this because you know what? We've got a lot of family coming in town. We have a lot of people that don't think about this, and I love the conversation because it's important for everyone to do.
It certainly is. In this holiday season, you can forget the politics and just talk about Scott stocks. And then call me after the holidays.
And get entered into when it says trust, and that's a $750 value free to you or anyone that you know. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Okay, so one of the things that I was talking a little bit about was that, some people have them, right?
Yes.
You gotta look at them periodically, because, the ones that have them, if they have to be amended, do you do that?
Yes, we can amend it, we can create it, full service. So yeah.
So either way, so whatever.
Exactly. If you don't have it, we can create it. If you have it, maybe you came from another state, we can still help you amend it and get it up to Arizona standards. And yes, it's recommended to review your trust once a year, maybe at the most every other year, because life does change, and maybe if a life event's happened and you haven't looked at it in a while, that's another good reminder of, hey, time to double check the trust and see what's in there and if anything's changed. Because I've helped one person with a trust amendment, and the beneficiaries of the trust were, one of them was the ex-husband as well as someone else in his family.
And they didn't know it?
It was divorced for 7 years, and she just finally remembered to look at her trust.
Wow.
So
that
yeah.
would have been really bad.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know why she had her ex as a beneficiary, but she did, and so we got her cleaned up, and there's other amendments that were needed, but yes.
So when we think about trust, a lot of people don't realize that they really should have the trust, but I think they all think that, well, I need to have money, I need to have, obviously assets and things like that. What are your thoughts on that?
So I like to say that I am the legal service for the everyday person, right? I don't have a big net worth, I don't drive fancy cars or wear fancy clothes. I am just a regular person like everyone else, and I like to help people understand that you can have a trust. There's two ways you avoid probate court. Trusts are beneficiary documents. For your real estate, it's beneficiary deeds. Not everyone needs to have a trust. Some people just want to have a trust. And yes, there can be tax strategies between using a trust or beneficiary document. So maybe talk to your financial accountant like your prior guest. But there's always that part of estate planning that is tax strategy. So the beneficiary documents are far more cost efficient, and that's why I say I'm here for the everyday person. It's not about just, I want to earn the business you need. I don't want to just charge you the highest service because that gets me the most money. A lot of clients, we discuss trusts and everything, but I also explain the beneficiary documents, and they say, you know what, my estate's a little bit more simplistic, a more humble net worth, and the beneficiary documents and power of attorneys will get it done for me at a far more cost-efficient price point. So doing something, you must do something or else your family goes to court. And those two somethings would be beneficiary documents or creating that trust. Because the trust is a great vehicle. It puts everything under the trust's umbrella. And so then you can also specify if you have beneficiaries who are minor children, then the trust is a better vehicle, because beneficiary documents, you have to list adults. So if you have children that are your direct beneficiaries, the trust gives you that ability, because the trust will hold it for the minor while they're a minor if you should die before they're an adult. And then at the correct age, the trustee will disperse the asset to that now adult who was a minor.
For people who are just tuning in, I do want you to explain to them, because a lot of people think, well, I gotta go to an attorney.
Yes.
But you are on the same level, basically.
I am allowed to provide the legal services as a non-attorney. So I don't want to discount the attorneys. They are great at representing you if you need legal representation. If you need someone to give you a legal opinion and tell you this is what you should do or this is in your best interest, the attorneys are great. They're solid people. They're here for a reason as well. But so are certified legal document preparers, and I am a CLDP, and I am here for a reason, and that is to provide cost-effective, non-attorney legal services. And I can discuss all the facts with you. We have a white glove consultation process where we learn about you, we help you understand the facts, the process, how the documents work, the options that are available for your objectives, and then you decide what you want, and we get to work for you.
Let's talk about funding the trust, because I know that's very important.
Absolutely. So when you create a trust, we do list all of your assets inside that trust. However, your real estate has a deed that controls its ownership. Your vehicle has a title that controls ownership. Your bank accounts have the bank account holder information, the bank's documents that control the bank account. And then if you own businesses, LLCs, PLLCs, corporations, what have you, they have their own legal documents that control their ownership. So when you have those assets listed in the trust, that doesn't mean the trust controls it. You have to fund those assets into the trust by changing the ownership from your name to the trust name. On the deeds, the real estate, we do new warranty deeds. Vehicle titles has a free document that passively transfers it to the trust upon your death. The financial account updates are totally free with your bank. So you'd be utilizing me for the trust and the deed work. And then if you want power of attorneys as well, those are available. But you fund your asset, the real estate, vehicles, financials, and businesses, you fund them by changing the ownership documents, not just naming them in the trust.
No, a lot of people don't realize how important that has to be done correctly.
It does, and I have taken those calls where mom and dad had a trust, we look up the property, and they did not do the deed. So the deed was in mom and dad's names, so now I'm still helping them, but now we're going through the court process.
So we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into win. It's a trust. It's $750 value free to you or anyone that you know. He is a certified legal document preparer, and he's been doing this since 2007. 5-star rated everywhere. With him, he's cheaper than your attorney and smarter than the website. With white glove personal services and top quality results. That's what he's all about. Also reminding people that also if you own a business and you do that help with business development, LLCs and PLLCs. It is important to make sure that we have our documents taken care of. And the reason why is because it's not, maybe you think it's not for you, but in a sense it is. Because if you only knew what happens afterwards when you've passed and what your families are going through, you'd be miserable.
Absolutely. I mean, we all have friends or friends of friends that have told us their horror stories of dealing with the court system because things weren't set up or weren't set up right. So just remember those horror stories, because that will be what your family is going to have to deal with. You're going to have to go through that court system, and it doesn't have to be a horror story, but they're already mourning the loss of their loved one. And now they get to go through the headache and the length of the court system. So getting your affairs in order now, even if it's uncomfortable to discuss, it helps you help yourself. If you become incapacitated, you will have documents for someone to help you. And if you pass away, you will have made it very, very easy for your loved ones to disperse the assets exactly how you want. So you still have full control and ownership over everything when you do it while you're alive.
You know, go ahead. You mentioned something, you incapacitated, because a lot of people, when you're doing all of this, they think of death only, but it's not. What happens if you are incapacitated? And that is worse.
Even if you're married, your spouse doesn't automatically get to act on your behalf. So a lot of people think, well, if I have a medical episode, my spouse will deal with the doctors and that'll be that. The doctors are very, very nice. They're very skilled at what they do, and they will talk with the family every step of the way. And if everyone's in agreement with everything, and for treatment, great, there's no issues. But if there's a disagreement, the doctor says, you're not the POA, I'm the doctor, I'm going with my medical opinion. So those POAs are important. Power of attorney.
5-star rated everywhere. We've got our lines open here. Call in here and get entered into win. It's a trust, $750 value free to you. Our number here is 602-277-5369. He's a certified legal document preparer. That's what makes him different. He's also smarter than the website, and he's got white glove personal services with top quality. His website is Scott's DOCS with S's LLC.com. So Scott's DOCS LLC.com or 480-586-0443.